Breaking news! The Denver Broncos may be 0-2, but what I'm about to tell you will completely change how you see this team start to the season. Trust me, you haven't heard this side of the story yet. There are explosive reactions from inside the locker room, unexpected support for Bo Nix, and a behind-the-scenes detail that could flip this entire narrative on its head. One veteran literally stopped a reporter mid-question to defend his quarterback, and what he said is going to shock you. Plus, we've uncovered a sideline moment that reveals everything you need to know about Bo Nix's mindset going forward. But before I reveal this unheard twist in the Broncos season, smash that like button if you consider yourself part of the real Broncos country, especially if you've stood by this team during the tough years. And if you're ready for a wild ride this season, comment, "Go Broncos!" We're not done yet. Now, let's get into what really went down after that game. The Denver Broncos may be sitting at 0-2, but if you think for 1 second that this team has given up, you've clearly not been paying attention. Inside that locker room, the belief in Bo Nix is unwavering. Nobody is putting the blame on him, not the players, not the coaches, and that speaks volumes. J.K. Dobbins, in an intense post-game press conference, shut down a question mid-sentence to defend his quarterback. He looked that reporter dead in the eye and said, "No, we didn't. He played a great game. We got his back." That kind of loyalty? You don't see it unless the locker room believes in their guy. And they do. Cortland Sutton backed Nix publicly. Patrick Surtain voiced his confidence in this team. Even Sean Payton, when asked about a few missed throws from Bo, didn't flinch, saying that correcting those would be number 50 on his list. Translation? He's not worried about Bo Nix. Payton knows the kind of player he's developing, and he trusts the process. But it's not just talk. The Broncos have been leading games into the fourth quarter. 2 weeks in a row, they've gone toe-to-toe with undefeated teams on the road and lost on last-second field goals. That's not a bad team. That's a team knocking on the door. The margin between winning and losing? Inches. A single bogus leverage call on special teams, a missed connection with Marvin Mims on a flea flicker. Those are the tiny moments that flip these games. It's heartbreaking, yes, but it's also proof that this team is competing with the best. And that frustration? Bo Nix feels it more than anyone. A sideline clip captured him saying, "I had so many chances out there today." He owned it. No excuses, no finger pointing. That's leadership. That's what you want to see from a rookie quarterback. He knows where he needs to grow, and he's already shown the maturity to take those next steps. Sean Payton himself has been clear. Winning close games doesn't come easy. It's a process. In New Orleans, he turned a broken franchise into a Super Bowl champion, but he didn't get there overnight. You learn to win close games by losing them first. That's just how the NFL works. He's been there before. He's done it before. And he's doing it again in Denver. What makes this different from the past years is the support system around Bo. When Russell Wilson started struggling, you didn't see this kind of unity. No public statements of support. No one jumping on the sword for him. This is new. This is real belief. And it's not just the veterans. The young guys are stepping up, too. Pat Bryant, the rookie wide receiver, made a clutch block that sprung J.K. Dobbins for a huge run early in the second half. He's not filling the stat sheet, but he's grinding, and Payton's philosophy is clear: block and you'll get the rock. Jonah Ellis also flashed on defense. The young talent is buying in. And speaking of Dobbins, what a bounce back. He looked explosive, and his drive-ending touchdown was a moment of pure momentum. The team is coming together on both sides of the ball. Now let's talk about the schedule. It's opening up. The Bengals are reeling without Joe Burrow. Philly is a tough matchup, yes, but then come the Jets, who've practically packed it in. The Giants are falling apart. Dallas is banged up and without C.D. Lamb. Houston is winless despite their playoff aspirations last year. And the Raiders? Even their own fans are quitting on them. This could easily turn into a 4-game win streak if the Broncos execute. And don't forget, Denver was in a similar spot last season. A wild card hopeful that almost pulled off the improbable. The only key injury right now is Dre Greenlaw. Health-wise, Denver's in great shape compared to teams like the Chargers and 49ers, who are losing core players. Because when we look at what Sean Payton has already done in such a short time, it's honestly impressive. He took a team that was a national punchline, remember last season's headlines, and turned them into a squad that's taking playoff teams down to the wire. These aren't blowouts. These aren't collapses. These are tough, physical games that come down to the final snap. That's a cultural shift, and it's happening fast. Let's also not forget what Bo Nix brings to the table. His footwork, his arm strength, and his football IQ are already ahead of the curve for a rookie. And what separates him from the pack is that emotional fire. That raw frustration we saw on the sideline after the last game, that's not just disappointment. That's accountability. That's leadership. And for a quarterback, especially one leading a locker room full of veterans, that kind of self-awareness is gold. He's not just reading coverages, he's reading the moment. That's rare, and the locker room sees it. You don't get full-throated support from guys like J.K. Dobbins, Cortland Sutton, and Patrick Surtain unless they see your work ethic day in and day out. These aren't hollow endorsements. This is real chemistry building in Denver. It's happening on the field, in the pressers, and behind closed doors. It's why Sutton came out and said that Bo doesn't win or lose the game alone, because he knows this is a team that's growing together. Even Sean Payton emphasized it. Don't judge us now. Judge us when the season's over. That's not coach speak. That's confidence from a guy who's seeing what it takes to get to February. He's been in Super Bowls. He's built championship teams. And now he's laying that same foundation here in Denver, piece by piece. And let's talk defense. The Broncos are flying to the ball. Jonah Ellis is making plays, and the secondary is holding their own against some of the league's top receivers. What's more, they've gone against elite quarterbacks, Justin Herbert and Daniel Jones, who are both in the MVP conversation right now. And yet, Denver had those guys on the ropes, leading in the fourth quarter both times. That's not a fluke. That's a team that just needs to finish. Health-wise, we're in the best spot we've been in years, while other contenders are scrambling, like the Chargers losing an offensive lineman and running back, or the 49ers losing their best defensive player. Denver's starters are intact. That matters. Depth becomes everything in the second half of the season, and right now the Broncos have that edge. And about that upcoming stretch, there are winnable games. This is where the turnaround begins. It starts with the Bengals, who are reeling without Burrow. Then Philly. Tough one, but anything can happen. Then it's the Jets, the Giants, Dallas, Houston, the Raiders, and eventually Kansas City. There's a path here. It's not unrealistic to see the Broncos rattling off 4 or 5 straight wins. If they execute, this season can flip. Remember last season? Everyone counted this team out, and they responded. The same energy is brewing again. Only this time, they've got a quarterback who's growing fast and a head coach who knows how to build dynasties. The Broncos are not far off. They're right there. A few inches on a throw. A single missed penalty. These aren't systemic issues, they're fixable. And with the leadership in that building, they will get fixed. Because this is not just about the Denver Broncos trying to win games, it's about a team rediscovering its identity, brick by brick. What we're witnessing isn't collapse. It's construction. It's the foundation being laid under pressure, and tough losses, and through inches that don't go your way. But those inches, they add up over time. And when they start to swing in our favor, everyone who gave up on this team will wish they hadn't. We're seeing Sean Payton doing what he was brought here to do. Not just call plays, but build a culture. We're seeing Bo Nix grow under fire, not fold. And we're seeing a locker room that's tighter now than ever before. Veterans standing up. Rookies stepping in. No excuses. Just fight. So no, this season isn't over. Far from it. In fact, if you're really paying attention, it might just be getting started. The pieces are in place. The belief is real. And the schedule ahead is opening wide for a run that could shock the entire league. And now I want to hear from you. Do you think this team has what it takes to go on a run and make the playoffs? Is Bo Nix showing you enough to believe he's our future? Drop your answer in the comments and let's get that conversation going. Make sure to subscribe for more exclusive insights. Hit that like button if you're still riding with us, and check out the next video on the screen where we break down exactly how Denver can dominate the next 4 games. Go Broncos!